perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Thank you, man. You see, that's why we're talking about making godly choice. Life is about choosing choices. And in the choice, it's all about, see, I say, we are where we are today by our choices. And every choice you make, there are consequences and responsibility. Those that succeed because they make good choices, godly choices. Let me say this. When Joseph was tempted by Potiphar's wife, there was a choice for him to enjoy his master's wife. You know, some girls, thank God I got saved on time. Believe me, if I was still the way I was before I got saved, if I'm in Joseph's step, I'm not sure I would say no, madam. Malabe. No, I should be frank, and you know what I mean. If I'm not saved, I don't know God. My God's wife offer me a privilege that I've been looking for. Opportunity. Hey, Malabe. Because when you finish it and you see all the boys and you meet with your friend, they say Joe. Because even when you do it, when you start riding your gas, madam, there are some free benefits, like packet shirts. When the rest of the servants eat one meat, you eat it. There are some favors you get along because you are rocking madam's level. But you don't understand the end thereof. See, the problem about some enjoyment now is we don't look at the end. You cannot find wisdom in the beginning of a thing. You find wisdom in the end. So anybody who is thinking about now is a fool about anything. Look at the end. So when you are looking at a relationship, start looking at the end. How are two of us, how are we going to end? Then you will know if it's something to start or not something to start. But if you concentrate on the traps and the enjoyment of now, the guy is taking you to tantalizer, the guy is this one, the guy is this one, you are not looking at the end. 5 years from now, 15 years from now, you're a big fool. So like I said, I was a big fool before I met Christ. I was a slave of my passion, of what I enjoy doing. I used to say something. The world say follow your passion. You understand what I'm saying? If you follow your passion, you will be lost. God said follow my word. He never said follow your passion. The ladies know how to arouse our passion. Once some of them wear half bra, and then they intentionally bow like this to make sure you see it well. If you are not a man that is disciplined and that is dead, your passion arouses, and you find yourself doing this. Before you know it, many men has give it to their passion. If you give it to your passion, you will die before your time. You will fail. How many of you know that women, with the greatest thing that can stir up the passion of a woman is our mouth? Oh, you look sexy. Oh, you look sarcastic. Each time I see you, my heart goes shake. I can't get hold of myself. Then you go, you are like you said in those days. When I was in secondary school, especially when I started going to the SUs, You know, one of the things I found difficult to live was women. So they nicknamed me Whiny SU. So they said we whine girls, we whine them. We whine them, we turn their head, we pollute their head, we make them lose sensibility. And most of the things guys are saying, some women know this is false, but they like to hear it because it is tuning on their passion. Lies can set you ablaze. Not everything that said men have fallen prey of sweet-tongued men. Playboys. When you open your eyes, you know you are just sitting and you are building your life. You know, sometimes you don't blame. You see, one thing I love God. You know, how many of us know that God speaks to us? We believe him. We build on his word. See, God also made man in such a way that man should not be men who play with words. We should be men who are men of our words. We should not be tomboy. Your yes is your yes. If you say to a girl, I will marry you, die there. Not tomorrow say, I'm sorry. A lot of men are not men. That's why we're talking about faithfulness. A man that will say yes and die in yes. Women are created to believe the men. And so you set them rolling by your word. Because women are called to trust. But it's unfortunate that a lot of men has damaged a lot of ladies. Because you are a playboy. I will die for you. I love you more than my father. I love you more than my mother. When the situation presents himself, you deny the girl. Especially when they get belly. Shall not be me. And that's why I blame the girl too. They told you before you marry the man, until the man put a ring in your hand, don't open your leg. You no go gree. That's by the side. Now, so you look at what we have read there. Now, this is Moses telling the Israelites, look, I'm just presenting before you this day blessings and curses, life and death. But, you know, that's one of the reasons. That reminds me of Joshua 1:8. Somebody should read for me. He said, if this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. Okay, yes.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Yes.
But thou shalt meditate. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth. But thou shalt meditate therein day and night. That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Now, thank you, ma. I want you to underline that place. Thou. The responsibility of what you become is in your hand. It's not even God. It's thou. It's not. I expect God to say, and God will make your way prosperous, and God will surely give you a good success. You know why? God has already given you good success. You see, everything God needs to do, he has done for you. It's now remaining what you can do for yourself. If you fail, it's not because God caused you. It's because you are irresponsible with your choices. So it's about making choices. When it's time to go to school, you choice, I'm not going to go to school. Read, you didn't. Instead of reading, you are playing computer game. It's choices. Everywhere is where they are by choices they made or your father made. Sometimes if my father has made some good choices, you will have given your children a perfect, a good leverage. You know, there's some boys now, they need to be selling pure water before they can buy exercise book, because their father did not make good choices that can give them a leverage. You can't compare a boy who is studying in Cambridge in the best school and you that is going to community secondary school. That even when you go there is hardly a qualified teacher or even a seat to sit comfortably. And after finishing, you see the boy is going from one lecturer to lecturer learning. Immediately you come back, you have to go and carry ogi, moi moi, ewara moi moi yo. Before you come back by 7 o'clock, you are tired. Even the assignment your teacher say you, when they mark it, you will get 1/2 or 0. Then they will say, ojo ejalu moje olodo rabata, ojo ejalu moje. Some of you don't know what I'm trying to say. If you have ever been to school, I went to school in the village. So I know when they mark our paper and they mark it and say, you know, when the teacher want to give you 0, they will make sure they will draw the 0. They say it's the eye of a fish. So they want to ask, oh, everybody that carry 0 come out, will not come out. Then they will not be, you know, singing a very disgraceful song for us. That is, we are all dollars. It's only the eyes of fish you can eat. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. So that the next time you go home, you have to work hard. So these issues are there. That the choices you are making will affect you and your generation. Especially more. This thing is more paramount with people who are in authority. People who are in authority needs to know that the life of people are in their hands. Destinies of men. You are not only living for yourself, you are living for the people that are God has attached to your destinies. Men, leaders of any kind, God will deal with leaders with such a hard hand more than anybody else. The judgment of leaders are tougher. It is easy for thousands of people to go to hell because of one leader. Because God attached lives. God forbid, if Baba Depo you backslide today, a lot of people will backslide with him. Thousands will go, they will go. That's why God holds them. He holds them. He said, these are the stars. They are in God's hand. If they fail, many will fail. If they stand, many will stand. And that's why we have to pray for leaders. If it's better for the leader, it will be better for you. The devil knows that. That's why the devil will say, just scatter, just get the shepherd, the sheep will scatter. Some of you don't pray for your leaders. I wonder how many of you are praying for me. You see me as one giant spiritual something who does not pray. Paul said, pray for us, brethren, pray. You think it's easy to be a leader? It is not. Because a leader is called to work double or triple what a normal member will work. He is an example. He's not the one that sits in big chairs. And moreover, that a leader is called to make decisions. The greatest job of a leader is decision making. He decides the destinies and the paths of so many people that is under his care and watch. And that's why God equipped them with so much great attention that can make them take and choose good direction, make good choices. So sometimes you wonder, when a man say, I see a man here, he has been sick for 12 years, I see this one, you are wonder, oh God, I want to have this gift that this man have. God did not give him to be shako. God did not give him because he's better. God gave him to him because of the job he gave to him. If he did not have those gifts, he will not be able to make good decisions. You remember Solomon? Solomon was strategically placed to be a king, and he was a small boy. And he said, whoa, when God appeared to him, asked what you said. The guy said, whoa, this job you gave to me is too big. It's bigger than my head. God, I don't even know my left and my right. They bring so many cases, I don't even know what to say. All I need is wisdom. Let me have understanding to know what to do, how to say it, who is at fault, who is not at fault. I had to give them a sense of direction. And God said, you've asked where? And God gave it to him. So that he could make good choices. Unfortunately too, he ruined it because he did not deny self. That's why gift alone, please man, switch it off for us. That's why gift alone is not enough for a leader. If God bless you with gifts to help people, you must develop character And character development starts by self-denial. You cannot build character upon self-will. You build good character on denial of self. That's what killed Solomon. Solomon could not deny the indulgence of self. He loved many strange women. And he made bad choices at the end of his day. So that God give you gift alone is not enough to help you if you don't help yourself. Now let's go on at this very point and look at Romans 12:2. Things that are going to help us to make good choices, godly choices. Because we make choices every day. We decide choices for our children, the school they go to, the school they don't go to. But before I get there, are you in Romans 12:2? Let me pin on this. Now there are two, can I call it type now, or kind? Or kind, two kinds. A type, okay, let me put two kinds of choices. We have corporate choices and we have personal choices. Do you get that? We have corporate choice. Says corporate. Please. Corporate choices and personal. Are you getting that? You have personal choices to make, and there are corporate choices to make. Most of the time, God leaves personal choices to individual, but he keeps corporate choices with leaders. Did you get that? Anywhere God brings 2 or 3 people together, God must set order. The place you can see that, okay, is a family. God brings a man and a woman to work together. So God has to place order. And he has to say, okay, in this relationship, the first man is the man. Okay? And if he's the man, he is responsible for making the choice. See, choice making is not the job of the woman. Any day, any time in the house. It's not your duty to choose where your children are going to go. It's not your duty to choose. The decision making is never a woman's work. That's why a lot of people are carrying abomination in their homes. Unless maybe you have lost your husband or something else. But when there's a teamwork, it's not your responsibility. It is the man's responsibility. And that's why we have to be careful of mommy's boy. The problem with mommy's boy is that their mother trained them in such a way they can't take decisions. Imagine, you know, any decision in the house, they say, go and meet mommy. Mommy, Bolaji said so and so and so and so. What do you think, mommy, that I should do? Mama said, don't allow her at all. So they, instead of taking their decision according to God's word, they consult their mother. They are not been trained to take and be responsible for their decision. Even when they marry, it is their mother that say, it's Bolaji's must marry. So they obey mommy. I'm straight like that. Mommy said it, it must be carried out. Those are not men yet. They are mommy's boy. And if you marry them as a woman, they will make your life miserable. Men must be trained right from time to make choices. As soon as they are becoming men, give them responsibility. Let them make the choices and be responsible to the choice they make. How many of you know that when a man is deciding to have sex, you are not married? It's a decision. But when the outcome of Bele comes, the boy runs away. People want to enjoy what adults are enjoying, but they don't want the responsibility of what adults are carrying. Flog them. That's why if I ever catch a boy that pregnant a girl, the girl drop out of school, I will be forced to fight it with everything that the boy must drop out. Drop out of school and start buying land, go and work. Because if you allow the boy to learn responsibility, the next time he will be careful in making error in his choices. Make everybody face the error of their choices, and they become responsible the next time they are given opportunity to take a choice. Irresponsible people, most of the time, they make wrong choices and they dodge the consequences of their choices. You get belly, now you now dump your child with your mother. You are, after dumping it, you are still going around like a single girl. After one, nobody has married you, and the responsibility, you are not carrying it. You gave it to your mother. Then after a time, you bring another belly again, because your mother never allowed you to face the first one. Nothing makes a man or woman wiser when they face the bitter pills of their choices. There was a song I used to hear. I don't know the content of that song, but I just hated the song. And I don't know, but I just want to just read the song for you. So the song sounds like this. I'm running away from the problem of this life. I'm running away to make a better day. The day I heard that song, I was furious. You are running away from your responsibility, from the problems of life. I shouted. I said, bring him back. He's a lazy man. Bring him back. How can a man be running away from problem? If David ran away from the problem, will David become a king? You think you run away from problem and you have a better day? You will have the worst day of your life. Men, women should be taught never to run away. Some run into drinking beer. You have a problem. You think it's drinking yourself to death that will solve the problem, or getting yourself into cocaine? That is part of what I call irresponsibility. It does not make a man grow. The greatest thing that makes a man to develop is responsibility. Take the decision, bear the consequence. Don't run when the consequence comes. So if you are kissing and necking now, and you are touching breasts, no problem. When the consequence comes, if they bring it to me, I will make you eat it raw. So that you will understand that for every action, there's an opposite reaction. For whatever a man sowed, he will reap. Choices. So there are corporate choices, and we have personal choices. In corporate choices, the first among the equals is responsible for making decisions and choices. Now, I was saying something in this church. Okay, I'm the first among the equal. I'm responsible for taking corporate decisions and where we are going. Now, if you believe in a leader, because once God puts you over leadership, I've been talking something about leadership for some time here, but I just want to, so that you understand. God equipped leaders to see every gift of a leader is to help him make decisions. To decide where, to decide great things for your future. But we always run to some little problems. Hello. See, there's this problem I said in the meeting today. We have this problem that if we're in a group, especially where you have young men who are still very submissive to the pastor. If you say go there, they go there. Go left, they go left. Because at that time they find out that they have not grown more to even hear God themselves. But they believe so much in whatever God says, they will believe. But when you start hearing growing young men who can hear God for themselves, who knows their left, who are spiritual jingado, who knows God spoke to me yesterday, I saw in a vision that God told me go to London. The other one said God said go to Japan. If you bring such men and set them over authority, they're going to be a little problem. Because the leader is going to say, God said we should go to Onitsha. They said no. God said to me yesterday, we are going to Ibadan. Now, if some of you have looked at the marriages of spiritual sisters in churches, you know, there's a sister, when you see her, hey, when she shake the heaven and the earth like that, this sister can talk Bible, this sister has word of knowledge, this sister is spiritual. And then most pastors are tempted, or other people who have calling, to say, hey, when you are looking at them, say, Sister Nike, oh, whoa, it's a pastor's wife's material. Believe me, they are the people that give pastors the most wonderful, turbulent times of their lives. If you marry such girls, if they are not been dealt with on this issue of submission, because you marry such girl in the house, you said God said we should be fellowshipping in Anglican church. The woman said no. God said we should be fellowshipping in living faith. So when you wake up in the morning, you see a sister go to living faith, you see the husband go to Anglican church, and she will stand, God told me, in a dream with an angel. In churches, we have the same problem. Somebody came to you and said, Pastor, he said, I want to go and tell fellowship in couples fellowship at Bagada. And the pastor said, you are not going. He said, God told me, Pastor, you can't stop me. God told me, you can't stop me. Your pastor said you are not going. He said you can't stop you. This is the problem we have. Immediately you disobey it. Whatever you do there is iniquity. See, God, a lot of us are suffering because we don't understand authority. Authority is said to provide for us, to promote us. If God brings you under a man of God, you must be obedient. Some of us want to obey leadership when it's convenient. When it's comfortable for you, you obey. The day it's not comfortable, you disobey it. And you prove that God did not tell you. God did not have to tell you. You see, it's not like I tell my wife we're going somewhere and my wife say no, God has not told her. God will not tell you. God will tell me. It's not your responsibility for God to tell you. As long as you are under a leadership, it's your own. If God said this is where we are going, you see, you are sent. You are representing that man. So he knows when we should withdraw, when we should not withdraw. This is why heaven will be full of surprises. When you hear a lot of men who have done, and God said, I don't know you. He said, but I'm a pastor of so faith. He said, I don't know you. I'm a pastor. I did miracle. I don't know you. I see my member there now. Supposed to go in. I don't know you. God was saying, say another was my member. I don't know you. What happened? Life is doing what is commanded. Every action you are doing, number one, ask yourself if you are under authority. If you are not under authority, you are not safe. You will struggle. You will not have supernatural provisions. There's a lot of young men that are suffering because they don't have a covering. And you will not be happy.